August finally came into the library, but he hadn't talked to her. She was talking a older man, and she didn't look happy. She was signing fast, and from the angle August was looking in on, he couldn't tell what she was saying. But Beth was very, very upset because her parents somehow have been contacted and all the sudden wanted her as a daughter. They were refusing to allow her to be adopted. She wanted to have a breakdown. Lisa, her foster mom, was at home having a total breakdown. She felt angry that her ignorant parents all of a sudden wanted a child. They left bleeding on the ground. Dean had to be the one to tell Beth the news. Mr. Santorani walks into the door and finds the family. He tells Dean what he had found. They gave her up. They can go to jail for this, but they left her dead, and you guys have the required amount of years trying to contact them. You guys did everything correctly. You can adopt her. Dean didn't waste any time and was already signing to the bed what Mr. Santorani was saying. The family tied up until Beth was 18th trying to find her parents. They called people trying to find them and came up with nothing. It had seemed they fled the country and they had. Mr. Sandarani told them that her parents fled to America and made a new life. They had three kids now. That didn't include Beth. August watches as Beth as she signs desperately and angrily. She was furious and nobody blamed her. They left me. Why I was such a burden that I couldn't have been involved with the plan of new life in another country. What do they want now? She asks, not understanding. To talk to you, Mr. Santarani replies, feeling uncomfortable with how sad Beth was. Beth felt sick, and so did August. He felt clueless at why she was so upset, and he was wondering why it involved Mr. Santarani and other old man. No, Beth signs furiously and walks away. August watches as the two men looked each other and sighed. They both slowly followed after her. Their hearts were heavy and sad. Nobody understood what her parents had wanted and why it took so long for them to contact anyone. August stared towards the door and waited to see if they would come back. He watches as they reappear again and he sees that Mina, who was the first employee that Beth ever hired, she held Beth's coat in her hand and handed it to her. The worker hugged Beth in hopes to comfort a little, in which Beth felt grateful for. Dean wrapped his arms around his daughter's shoulders and he started to lean her out of the building. Mr. Santorani followed beside them and watches as Beth walked past August and didn't even see him. Her head was down and she couldn't see through the tears. What is happening? August asked, panicked. The tone that August's voice almost made Mr. Santorani smile, but the actual smile took too much work and energy, which Mr. Santorani felt like he had none of at that moment. Beth's biological parents have been found and they wanted to talk her They weren't going to let Beth's foster parents adopt her, but Mr. Santorani was cut off by August. They abandoned her, neglected as a child. It's she going to charge them? August says, not needing to have anything explained to him. Mr. Santorani nods his head. I have to go. We are talking about the chores now and feeling them. The man walks out of the building, and August couldn't help but feel completely helpless.